Hi guys, welcome to HR Fundas and I'm Disha. In today's video, we are going to discuss about something which is very critical for each and every employee. Each one of us comes through this situation. I get a lot of queries with regards to the full and final payment not being received by the employees. So I thought let me make a video and explain what exactly happens during your resignation and what is it that you can do to prevent yourself from getting into a situation where your full and final is stuck. So let's discuss what happens or what can you do when the company is not ready to pay your full and final settlement. So what does full and final include? So this will include your salary for how many months the company has not paid you. A lot of companies hold the last month's salary which is released along with your full and final settlement. Then gratuity if you have completed 5 years of service, bonus, leave encashment, and relieving letter after the full and final is done. So to understand how much is the amount that you are going to get, you will have to do a rough calculation of how many days salary is there, what will be the kind of gratuity amount that you will get. Probably you can get in touch with your finance department and understand from them what is the if they can share the calculation with you. Bonus, a lot of companies generally give the bonus at the time of Diwali, or if you have some performance linked incentive that will come around April or May as per your company's policy. Leave encashment. So not all leaves are encashed. It's only the privileged leave or the annual leave which is encashed. So if it's casual leave or sick leave, that will not be encashed. And then the relieving letter. So if you have given a proper handover, you have served the full notice period, that is when you will be given a relieving letter from the HR department after your full and final is done. Now, what is the separation process? Okay, so the biggest problem that arises is that most of the employees are not even aware as to what is the separation process and what are they expected to do once they decide to resign or once they resign. So when you join, the company issues you an appointment letter at the time of joining, and you have to accept a copy of the appointment letter which clearly states the policy on separation. So if it will mention whether if you want to resign or if the company terminates you, you will have to serve a notice period of 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, depending on whatever your company policy is. So all these terms and conditions you have to read carefully, which are mentioned in your appointment letter. If they are not mentioned in your appointment letter, please go through the separation policy of your organization. It is easily available with the HR. A lot of companies now have employee self-services wherein they upload it on the intranet, so you can read it from there as well. If you're still not sure, please verify from your manager, from your supervisors, or from your HR about what is the procedure. Best is that you understand right at the time of joining, so you are clearly aware of what needs to be done. Now check the notice period before and after confirmation. So in some companies, the notice period changes after you are a confirmed employee or after you are through with your probation period. So understand what is the notice period that you are required to serve before and after your probation period is over. Now, common mistakes that employees make. Now, the first one is that they do not give their resignation in writing. Now, see, it's natural that there will be a lot of emotions overflowing because you have come up with a resignation. Maybe your manager does not want you to leave, or maybe they don't have a replacement ready, or maybe he will be grilled and hence he's trying to stop you. Whatever the case is, you have to decide whether you want to stay or if you want to leave. If you want to leave, please give a written resignation. You can carry a hard copy with you when you go and meet your manager, or you can send them an email. Please do not shy away from this, because this is where the entire problem starts. Not deciding the last date of working. So obviously when you go to your manager, he starts discussing, he will go and talk to the HR, he will go and talk to the management. So he is not very sure if he wants to relieve you on the date that you want to. And then first, if you have not given your resignation in writing, so there is no date mentioned and as to when did your notice period actually begin, and then there is no last date of working. So there is a lot of manipulation happens during this stage. So please make sure that your resignation letter clearly states the date on which you have written the resignation and submitted it to the manager, and your last date of working. Not taking acceptance of resignation from manager or HR. So as I just mentioned, that there are a lot of emotions, and they will try to blackmail you emotionally. They will try to work out things for you when they want time and everything. All that is fine. Let that happen simultaneously, but please make sure that this documentation is in place. Relying on HR or manager to work in your interest. See, you have to understand, once you have put in your resignation, nobody will be with you or by your side. So you are independent, you are alone, and you are fighting this battle all by yourself. So please, whatever needs to be done, it needs to be done by you and only you. Not serving the full notice period. Now, a lot of times the employees are not even aware of what the notice period is. So as I've just mentioned, it is available in your appointment letter. If not, ask for the separation policy. It will be clearly stated there. Sometimes what happens is that the management changes the notice period midway. So maybe you joined in 2020, now 2021 they change the policy. So they will update you, they will intimate you that this is what has happened, and this is your this is the notice period that you have to serve. So yes, you will have to abide by that policy. And falling for the manager's sweet talk. So now the manager has realized that fine, you are leaving. Now he needs to understand that either he gives you what you want or you will leave. So please, as I've just mentioned, do not fall for these things. Just make sure that your documentation is there in place with all the correct dates. Otherwise you are the one who's going to suffer. Waiting for the HR to send you the relevant documents after you have left. So if you want any salary slips or you want any other documentation, like your last promotion letter or last increment letter, they are not going to give you. It is your job. You should have taken it or you should have kept it properly. It is not their job, and please don't expect them to do it for you. Now, before you decide to resign, what should you do? Observe the company practices, see what's happening with people who are resigning. So when you see other people resigning, observe the entire procedure carefully, get in touch with them, talk to them, how are they feeling, how are the processes carried out. This will give you a lot of insight into how this company operates. Does the company hold back salaries of the people who have left? See, all companies will hold back your salary for your FNF, for your full and final settlement. Now, something that you need to understand is how long does the full and final take, and whether they give you the full amount or they don't give you. So when you get to know all this information, then obviously you can plan for your resignation accordingly. What are the expectations of the company from the employees who are leaving? So I have seen a lot of cases in which the employees are from sales department, and when they left, that is when the company started asking them or questioning them for whatever is the outstanding in the market. And a lot of times when it was seen that they deducted the outstanding amount from their from the leaving employee's salary. So please make sure that you understand what is expected from you and you fulfill whatever is expected from you. Don't think that you can leave things in between and the company will still do your full and final settlement. Get in touch with the separated employees to know their experience while leaving. So in a lot of cases, employees are unaware of the resignation process. So as I've just mentioned, please go through the separation policy in detail so that you know what is the process and what are you supposed to do. Now, in a lot of companies, especially the bad ones, the HR and the manager will not give you clarity on the procedure or the steps to be followed when you hand in your resignation. And hence, as I've just mentioned, it is only your responsibility to make sure that you are following the process and you're documenting each and every step. And why they do that is so that later on when you have left, they can find out loopholes, or they can give you reasons to hold back your salary or to deduct the amount from your full and final settlement. Now the next point is for the leave. So as I've just mentioned that only the PL or the annual leaves, these are the leaves that will be encashed. The sick leave or the casual leave, they are not encashed. So either you avail it or they lapse. So if you have some leaves, please avail those leaves. They will not be encashed. And if you see that the company does not encash any of the leaves, then it's better that you avail all your leaves before you resign, because a lot of companies do not allow the employees to take leaves during their notice period as well. Get your reimbursements before you talk about your resignation with anyone in the company. So see, when you are planning to quit, there are a lot of people who will act as the ears and eyes of the management or your manager, and whosoever gets the slightest hint will go and share this news with your manager or with the HR. So please make sure that all your dues or everything that is due to be paid to you by the company, that you have in your hand before you resign. Resign after you get your bonus or incentives or any pending payment. Now, when you resign, what are you supposed to do? So, keep a written documentation of everything, including your handover, your notice period, and the last date of working. These three are extremely critical. Keep the manager and HR in loop, so they should know that you are documenting everything. If needed, keep the HOD in loop as well. So if you think that your manager is going to back out at the last minute or he is not going to support you, so please keep your HOD also marked on all the emails that are related to your handover. Keep your salary slips from day one. Now, every month when your salaries are dispersed, the system, your salary slips will be uploaded on the system, or you can talk to the HR to get your salary slips. Now, if you walk into the HR office all of a sudden and ask for 3 months salary slip, they will know that you are looking for a job. So it's a good idea to keep collecting your salary slips. Don't rely on any verbal communication. So everything needs to be written down. If your manager says that I am not accepting your resignation today, or it is not effective from today, it will be effective 4 days down the line, then please mention that you have resigned today and not 4 days down the line. If you're okay with serving that, that's fine. So you can serve a little more notice period, but don't change your date of resignation, because that can have repercussions later. Because people change when you leave, and even the top management will change. So please don't rely on anything which is verbal. If they're working in your favor, they will not mind writing it down, approving it, and accepting it. But if they don't do that, then you can be assured that they have something else in their mind. Also, a lot of people have confusion with regards to whether the notice period can be waived off or not. See, companies are not very stringent about it. It's totally up to the manager to decide whether he wants you to serve the full notice period, or if he's okay with you serving maybe half of the notice period or 3/4 of the notice period and then leaving. The basic thing that they want to achieve while you're serving your notice period is to have a proper handover as well as look for your replacement. So if these two criteria can be met, so they don't really have a problem releasing you early. So this is something that will be on a case-to-case basis. Now, what are the next steps? So ensure that you give your resignation in writing. It should be accepted by the manager in writing. Nothing verbal counts. If terminated, the company should give you a termination letter. At the time of leaving, take a copy of no dues form duly signed by the manager and HR. Now, the FNF form or the clearance form is a document that you will have to take a signature from or get approval from each and every department that you have cleared the dues from every department. So please get it duly signed, submit everything that you have which belongs to the company, and then take a copy of this accepted or approved clearance form. This is also extremely important. So please keep a copy of this form as well with you. Sit with the finance and work out your FNF amount, so you will know what exactly are you eligible to get, and in case the company deducts something, then you will know. and a lot of these things will be taxable. So when you get so many amounts all together, there will be a lot of tax applicable as well. So please understand that as well from your finance department. If nothing works, now what happens is, in some of the cases when the employee has done everything and the company has just been postponing the full and final settlement, they are not willing to give, then what can you do? You can consult a lawyer, you can send them a legal notice, and uh, so when you go to the lawyer, you will have to furnish each and every document that you have with you. So please, so that's the reason that I have been telling you that you have to keep a record of every document that you have, right from your resignation to your full and final to your handover. So everything will be helpful for you when you have to file for a case. Let your other colleagues also know that this is how the company behaves once you resign, so that they are aware that they are not in good company and they should be prepared to handle a situation like this. So I hope this video will help you answer a lot of questions that you have with regards to your full and final, as well as what is the action that you can take if the company does not help you or clear your dues on time. So thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.